It says starting. All right,
Yeah,
it started. Here we
live.
go. Live from New Jersey and from the Panhandle of Florida. It is the first ever episode of the Wieners Weekly Words podcast. It does not have its own name yet. It will have its own name. I promise you that. We're doing it live on YouTube, apparently. I don't know how it works. We wanted to kind of record it separately, but we're just going with the flow. It's live on YouTube. We're going to try and rip the audio for you commuters out there. But for now, it's going to be on YouTube, and we'll figure it out. Let me introduce you to my co-host. His name is Dan. He can, he'll tell you about himself. Go for it.
Hey, what's going on? Dan, originally from New Jersey, where Wiener's from. You've probably seen my blogs, my oracle of sports picks. I'm kind of a genius. I'm kind of gifted. I don't know what you could call me. I do pretty cool stuff. I'm going to write about it. I like beer. I'm going to write about it. I like sports. I'm going to write about it. I hate politics, so I'm going to write about it. Pretty much I'm going to write about everything. It's going to be a pretty cool blog, I think. We'll see where it goes. Right now I'm the number one writer on staff, and I'm also the number one sponsor, so pretty big deal.
Yep, Dan has sponsored the website and is also the VP of blog operations, and those things are completely unrelated. I can promise you that.
That's true. We're going to get into some beer reviews here, but I'd just like to point out that I'm drinking one of the best beers that has ever been made, Coors Light. Of course,
I can confirm. Good beer.
Atlanta Falcons koozie, which I actually got at the Georgia Dome. And, my prediction about them Thursday night was right. So, just saying. All right, I'll turn it back to the CEO now. Keep going.
All right, so the podcast is going to work like this. First off, bear with us. This is our first episode. We're winging it. So, it's going to be good. It's going to get better, but this is going to be a good episode. We're going to start off talking about the company, where it's going, the future of the company. We have a little in-company drama already. We're going to discuss that. And then we're going to go into some sports, some politics, football, and we'll figure it out. We're going to wing it. But first, before we even get into the company, we're going to do our mini in-podcast beer reviews. I'm going to go first. I got a Sierra Nevada. It's Sierra Nevada Otra Vez, which I believe means other thing in Spanish. It means other something. I think it means other thing. Vez might mean thing. It might mean something totally different. But Sierra Nevada, good brewery. It's a Gose style ale, which is a German. And it's brewed with cactus and grapefruit. So I'm hoping for something interesting. I bought a whole 6-pack, so it better be good.
Isn't that German soccer player, Götze?
Götze is fucking, this is just Gose, and this lighter bottle opener that I decided to use is not working. How about you go first while I find a lighter opener?
Well, all right, I'll take a break from this course.
Oh, I got it. We're good.
Okay, never mind.
So Sierra Nevada Otra Vez, it's doesn't even say the alcohol content on it, but here we go, 4.5. So it's a light, and we're gonna see. Oh wow, I really like that. It's a little sour. It's got a little tang to it.
Is it anything like an IPA?
No, it's kind of like it almost tastes like a cider. But like it's more, it tastes like a beer, but it's got that tang, you know what I mean? I think it must be the grapefruit or the cactus. I don't really know what a
little bit added flavor in there.
It's delicious. Wow. I'm really impressed with it. Hold on. I'm gonna give it it's pretty refreshing too. It almost tastes like cucumber, like cucumber water.
Oh yeah. Like cucumber melon, like the hand soap that smells really good.
Well, I don't generally taste my hand soap, but
well, I mean, if you could taste hand soap, that would be tasting hand soap.
Yeah, that's this is a 7 point. No, this is a 8.2. I really like this beer. So, Sierra Nevada Otra Vez, other thing. I think that's what it means, and it's an 8.2. Check it out. On to you, Dan.
8.2, huh? All right. Well, I was at Publix earlier today, and they have the things where you can build your own 6-packs out of like the single beers. And First one I picked up was this George Killian's Irish Red. Now there's a brewery and restaurant in town over from me, McGuire's Irish Pub. They make a Irish Red, and I really like it. So I thought I'd give this one a try. I'm gonna pour it into a mug because I think that's how Irish beers are supposed to be drank.
That's probably true.
So pour a little bit into my mug here. It's got a good color. No,
Yeah,
that Irish Red color. I'm sorry about my phone there.
So unprofessional.
All right. I can't really smell because of my sinuses, so.
Just only taste. So while you're drinking that, I'm going to inform everyone that I bet on Temple tonight against UConn. They're up 21-0. Just got back from the half. So if I get a little excited, that would be why. That would be
wow.
1-0, hopefully, in Wiener's Weekly Wagers this week. What do we think of this beer?
This beer is fucking delicious.
It sounds good. Irish Reds are always good. I don't know if you.
Holy shit! I only drink Coors Light usually, so this is saying a lot coming from me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this beer.
I wish I could found it at the liquor store. Could have reviewed the same beer, but
George Killian's Irish Red. It's a product of the USA. So
That's
Irish beer brewed in the USA. Nothing bad.
What's the score? 1 to 10.
Well, since this is my first review, my first beer review. So I want to give it a 9, but I feel like that's just going to set the bar there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. I really like
it. A 9. You're setting the bar at a 9.
On my personal taste scale. I love Irish Reds, and this happens to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, beer is obviously,
You could drink this, you could probably just drink 8 bottles of these.
Yeah? It's not too heavy?
No, it's not heavy at all. You can it just flows straight down.
Yeah, I agree that this Ocho Vez, you could also drink.
Yeah, that's a good beer. I'm going to pour the rest of it into that mug because that's what I'm going to be drinking.
Yep. Are you on antibiotics still?
Nope.
I am. So currently losing on antibiotics.
Just the sinus stuff.
Nice. Your boy's got a sty in his eye. I don't think you could tell on the stream, but my right eye is really swollen. I don't want to go anywhere in public until it goes away, which kind of sucks. But I don't know. We'll see. Depends how drunk I get tomorrow. Anyways, that's that. First beer review in the books. So we're going to move on. Wiener's Weekly Words. Where do we want to go with this?
Well, let's start talking about the company.
Yeah. All right. You want to give a little intro, or you want me to do it?
You should do it. You started it.
That's true. All right. Well, of course, Wiener's Weekly Words was started by myself, Jake Wiener, about a week and a half ago, because I have a lot of thoughts in this brain of mine, and I needed to get them all out on paper, or not literal paper, but theoretical paper of the internet. And I like sports, I like gambling, and I like politics, and I like beer, and those are really the main 4 things that we're going for. I did have a Halloween blog the other day, which was pretty good. I like live blogging stuff. I like offering commentary. So we're just going to roll with the site. We're going to see where it goes. Maybe in a weeks, months, whatever it is, we send it into Barstool. We see what they think of it, because, that's obviously the kind of vibe that we're going for. Obviously, I would love to be hired by Barstool, so that would be nice. Currently unemployed. I don't know what I want to do with my life, and I would like to do that. That's really what I'd like to do, but obviously I need to get a real job in the meantime, so I'm looking for that. But while that's happening, I'm just working on the blog and working on the site, putting shit together for you guys, the viewers, putting content together, and we're really going to see where it goes. I hired Dan as my secondary writer. And the real drama that I referred to earlier is that we have our third writer, who I believe is known as Degenerate Keel, who demanded that I post his picks on the site. So let's go through the story, Dan. You've heard it all. He demanded last week that I post his picks on my site. I hadn't even I had posted one blog. Basically, he was like, I want a blog on the site. He wrote like a 3-page write-up about why NYCFC was going to win their playoff game against Toronto, and they were plus 400. And he was like, it's a lock, easy money. And I allowed him to basically discredit and slander my site by putting that garbage on there. I put a little editor's note that I thought that it was bullshit, and it lost. So fast forward a little bit. He wants more picks, wants to write more blogs, and I said, listen, you gotta prove yourself. Your first blog, Dan, was a lock. You put your mortal lock in, and it hit. And your second blog is 1 for 2 right now. So that's credibility. You're also a sponsor, so that helps a little bit. But yeah, so Keel, Degenerate Keel, he wants to be on the site. I think we should put it up to the viewers, honestly. He wrote me another blog. He demands that it was posted tonight. I said no. He said that I promised him if he shared my thing on Facebook that I would allow him to post a blog on the site, and he didn't. And he said he did, so he lied to me. And then he did it again today, and I said, I don't see it. It's not on your feed. And then he finally, all of a sudden, it was on his feed. So he shared it on Facebook, but made it private, so like that no one could see that he shared it on Facebook. Tried to like hustle me, basically. He sent me a picture. He was like, see, it's on my timeline. So anyways, he then called me a fag because I wouldn't post his blog, and that's when I fired him on the spot. He's been begging for his job back. He said he's consulted with lawyers, and there's a lawsuit on the way. If I don't rehire him, I said I'm going to have to consult with my VP of blog operations in our company meeting, which is currently going on in the middle of this podcast. So what do we think?
Yeah, so I heard you also had some things to say about me as a writer.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't go to the fancy college he went to, Pennsylvania State University.
He still doesn't have a degree.
I don't have that, that college writing experience, but my stuff works. I write what's in my head, and it might not be spelled right or grammatically right, but at least I write good stuff. Basically, is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I thought your first 2 blogs were very good, also very witty, very funny. Keel's blog was not funny at all. He was basically like, yeah, there's some goals, and I don't know. I didn't even read it.
I mean, I'm a big soccer guy. Premier League mostly, a big Arsenal fan. The MLS is just so irrelevant. Who's putting money on MLS games? Like,
an idiot. I mean, the kid bets on fucking Argentinian and Dutch league soccer like on a regular basis, to the point where his bookie is like, I don't even know the scores of these games you're betting on. Like, I don't know if I could even accept them because I don't even know where to find the results. So
I mean, who's he going to read? Which audience is he targeting here?
I was like, there's no one in the world. Yeah. There's no one betting on MLS. I was like, our audience is football, baseball, basketball, hockey, I guess, because we're American and we're not betting on fucking stupid soccer games. So I don't know. He wrote me a whole nother piece today and asked me to post it. I think he has 3 picks on it. So I was thinking maybe we, since we like to gamble on this site, we make it a gamble. We say if he goes 2 out of 3, he has his job for the meantime. If he goes 1 out of 3, he's temporarily suspended. If he goes 0 for 3, he is permanently fired. What do we think about that?
So what are his picks? Do you know?
Let's go through them. Hold on. I got to go to my email. So he picked. Oh well, you know what? He sent me another blog. He sent me an updated blog. All right, I know one of his picks was Washington. All right, so here we go. He picked Purdue plus 17 at Minnesota, which I actually liked as well.
Purdue plus 17 at Minnesota.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking that too, just because I like it. You like it? Yeah, I kind of like it too. Minnesota's not bad.
Yeah, they're not going to beat Purdue by 7. How much did Penn State beat Purdue by?
It was like 62-24 or something like that.
Okay, but how much better of a team is Penn State than Purdue? Than Minnesota, sorry.
Based on the rankings, much better, but I don't know. We took Minnesota to overtime.
Okay.
So at Beaver Stadium.
So then maybe not.
It's
Minnesota. I don't know. I don't know enough about the teams to really say that's a good one or not, but 17 points seems like a lot to me.
Yeah, so I agree.
That just from the 17 perspective, I would probably take that in any game pretty much, unless it was like Alabama versus like Eastern Carolina State or whatever. But
yeah, or Ohio State or whatever, yeah. But I don't know. I liked it too. I was actually thinking about putting it in my picks. But Purdue was tied with us at the half, and then we just completely blew them out. We were tied 17-17 at the half. Keel says that he thinks that they're going to play 4 quarters today instead of, playing one half. They were playing Nebraska very well at the half 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I kind of like the pick, but we'll see.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it goes through. We'll see if it goes through for him.
And then he's got Florida -3.5 versus Arkansas at Arkansas, which I think is a good pick because I think Florida's a good team.
Florida's a good team.
But it's SEC. Anything can happen. He also has the under 47 in that game. So he actually has 4 picks. So
under 47. I don't know enough about the defenses on those teams versus the offenses.
SEC defenses, but who knows? Well, actually, let's see. Florida's the what's it called? Arkansas has a number 2 defense apparently.
Yeah.
On his blog. I don't know. He's got 4 picks, so I say if he goes 3-4, he's reinstated. If he goes 2-2, pending. He can go, we'll push it another week because it's a push basically. Even though, with the juice, you're going to lose the money. I'll give him 2-2. 1-3, he's suspended. And he will have to gamble his way back in with me basically. And if he goes 0-4, he is permanently banned from the site. What do we think about that?
Sounds good to me.
If he goes 4-4, yeah, 4-4 or 3-4, we'll reinstate him permanently. So that is the final decision. The first meeting of the Wieners Weekly Word editorial staff is concluded. And remember that commercial when they did like the man law thing? We're gonna do the man law thing right there with the beers. So let's move on to the next segment, which is the NFL. Or you know what? No, next segment is the World Series recap.
Yes.
Got to go with that. I know you are the world's biggest baseball fan, so we're going to roll with the World Series recap. I made a mistake, guys. I picked the Indians in 5. I really doubled down on Indians in 5. Even after the Cubs won Game 2, I said Indians in 5, Indians in 5. Until they lost, I was fully on board the Indians in 5 train. And then if you didn't watch the World Series, you're an idiot because it was the best World Series in 10 years, at least. And Game 7 was literally the best game maybe best baseball game of our lifetimes. If you consider just the implications, the scenario, them coming back, the Cubs coming back from 3-1, the atmosphere in Cleveland, 2 teams with 2 of the longest droughts ever, and then just the game itself was unbelievable. 10 innings, a rain delay after the 9th, and that Rajai Davis home run in the fucking bottom of the 8th. Yeah, it was just an unbelievable game. It was an unbelievable series. If you didn't watch that series, you're an idiot. I don't care if you think baseball is boring. That wasn't boring at all. It was awesome. So, I can go really in depth, or I don't know. I really don't think I need to. I think it kind of speaks for itself. I was blatantly wrong, though. I did declare the Cubs world champions in the 3rd inning of Game 6 after Addison Russell hit that grand slam. I said that Cubs are world champions. Guarantee it. Mark my words. I might have went back on that, but that's fine. I wore both my Cubs hat and my Indians hat. I kept switching during Game 7, as you could see in my beer reviews that are also on the site. It was an unbelievable series. You have any thoughts?
Yeah. So, if you read my article about the Cubs mortal lock, that I don't like baseball. But talking to someone I work with, he said he's a big baseball fan, and he said that there'll never be a baseball game that good in our lifetime.
It's really true.
I'm talking about Game 7. So I watched games. I watched games 4 through 7, basically. So I know my mortal lock, it Cubs in 7, wasn't posted until the day of Game 7, like probably during Game 7. I don't exactly remember when, but I did predict them once I saw that tweet that Lisa Ann retweeted. I did predict them after Game 4, and you know what?
Bring that. Just say what that tweet was for the people that might have not read your blog.
Say what the tweet was. I'm gonna have to paraphrase. I don't have it in front of me, but
yeah, just
basically. So the last time that there was 2 ties in the NFL, the Indians lost in Game 7 of the World Series. That was in 1997 to the Marlins, I believe.
Yep, Marlins, 97, expansion team that won in their first 5 years.
So it happened again. My stance on this curse. It's a big curse.
It was bigger than the curse of the GOAT.
Yeah, it literally beat the 108-year curse. Like that's pretty huge.
It's legit. So what do you think about LSU?
That was like the biggest iconic curse in fucking sports history, and this curse beat it. So that is why I have LSU over Alabama this weekend, but we'll get into that when we get to college football.
Yeah. So just one more question before you. What do you think? Do you think that Terry Francona and not Terry Francona. Do you think Theo Epstein, who was the general manager of the Red Sox in 2004 and the general manager of the Cubs this year, do you think that he is that good at baseball or at being, a baseball executive that he conquered a curse, or is he like a secret black evil magician?
I don't know. Look, they made a lot of mid-season-ish moves to get the players they did on the team that eventually won them the World Series. Like they got Chapman from the Yankees. That's the only one I think of right now because I don't really follow baseball.
Well, they also traded Starlin Castro and ended up with Baez, who had an unbelievable season at second. And Starlin Castro did not play that well for the Yankees.
Yeah, so, there was definitely some good management there, some good whatever you call it in baseball, good moving players around.
General management, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if he's some voodoo guy.
I think that's highly possible.
It could be possible. I'd have to do more research on that, more of my curse magic research.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. I just don't know enough about baseball to really answer that question properly.
So. All right, so we're going to move on. I'm about to finish this Otravez, so I think I'm going to try my next beer. Next beer, and then we're going to go college and then NFL. I guess that's what
sure. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, we might as well go Saturday then Sunday. We're recording this on Friday night, by the way. Two sick people staying in, yet somehow still drinking beer.
Yep.
Right now the Temple game is on. It's 21-0, and Temple has the ball. This next beer is Fat Jack. It's a Samuel Adams special fall beer. It's a double pumpkin IPA, I believe. I know, it's just an ale. It's 8.5% though, so it's going to be strong. I don't really know what to think about it. I just figured I'd go with, kind of the fall pumpkin theme while we're still there. I know Halloween was a couple days ago, but I think we still have a few more days of, pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkin beer before we get into the whole peppermint, Christmas craze. There's also Thanksgiving, so I don't know. Whatever the November beer is. Anyways, we're going to go Fat Jack, Samuel Adams. The label is interesting. It's like a fat, weird pumpkin. And we're gonna give it a score. I don't like it. Yeah, so it tastes kind of like, it's got a strong pumpkin spiced flavor. I could taste the ginger.
Just from the name of it, I don't think I would like that.
Yeah, I like pumpkin spice coffee. I like pumpkin pie. I like all that shit, but I don't know. It's got a really strong ginger taste, which I don't like at all.
When I'm drinking a beer, I don't want to be drinking like a meal,
That's what I'm drinking, like a
or like a dessert. I don't want to be drinking like a piece of pie. Like I don't understand those like really chocolatey stouts. Like I don't want to be drinking a chocolate bar. Like that's
stouts. I don't think I like any stouts because they
I
generally.
mean, I like Guinness stout. I can drink Guinness stout, but I'm not huge into them.
Yeah, I don't like Guinness. I'm not a big Guinness guy. So, my dad likes it. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna do a few more sips just because I have to. Really, this is a lot to take in. It says it's got pumpkin pie spices, cinnamon, ginger. Yeah, that's the ginger. I put way too much in there. Nutmeg and allspice. Allspice makes me just think of Allstate. I don't know why. Ignite a warmth. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. It's just heavy. This is heavy.
Yeah, that's like drinking. That's like drinking a fucking dessert.
Yeah, it's not like unpleasant, I guess, but it's like a hassle to drink. Like I'm not going to give it below 5 because I don't think it's bad. It doesn't, I think to be below a 5, I actually I don't know. I don't know what my scale is because a 5 might be, I guess, would be average, right?
Yeah, I mean, a 5 could be,
Yeah. I mean, it's really, it depends on the person. It depends if this is your type of beer. It's not my type of beer. So, what? On my personal scale, I'm going to give this a 4.9.
You can't be objective when you're tasting beer. If I drank an IPA, I'd probably give it like a 2 because I hate IPAs. But
I like IPAs though.
People love IPAs, so
Yeah, so I'm going to give this a 4.9. If you were into like the heavy it's not a stout, it's an ale, but it's a double ale. So if you're into like that heavy, like kind of winter flavored beers, I guess would be a good way to put it. You would probably like this because it's not bad. If you like pumpkin, it's just too gingery for me. I don't like, if they had like a little, that was the first thing I tasted was ginger, and it's not the first thing you want to taste when you're drinking a fucking beer.
No.
So I've got a lot of liquid left. What's this? This is a pint 6 fluid ounces. So pint 6. So this is almost 2 beers in one. It's 8.5, so it's like 4 beers. So, all right, we're gonna move on. Are you done with your red ale?
I still got a little bit of it left. So,
all right, so let's get into college football.
On my second one,
we'll get into college football.
Yeah.
Well, let's see where to start. I mean, I put up all my picks on the blog. I don't really need to go through them again. I picked Army over Navy. I think that's going to be a good game, but I think not Navy. Army over Air Force. Sorry, but I don't think Air Force is that good, and Army's actually pretty decent. I picked this game. I picked Temple. I picked under in the Nebraska-Ohio State game. I think that was 52.5, and I also picked Nebraska. They're plus 16.5. I bought the half point. I made them plus 17. I think that's going to be a really close, low-scoring game. 2 good defenses. Ohio State's been struggling. And who's the other pick I had? I don't know. I can't remember right now, so we're not going to go into it. But there's a couple other good games worth watching. Obviously, Alabama, LSU. Let's hear your take on that.
So this all goes back to the NFL 2-tie curse here. So, after the Indians lost in Game 7 in that 1997 season when there was 2 ties in the NFL, the LSU Tigers beat the number 1 ranked Florida Gators that season. Coincidence? I don't know. But this weekend, LSU is playing the number 1 ranked Alabama. So, part of my whole superstition, curse, voodoo magic tells me that I want to put money on LSU. They're underdogs. What is it, 7.5 points?
It was 8.5, and I think it's dropped to 8. It might be 7.5 now. It's moved a little bit.
It was 7.5 when I checked that at lunch today.
Okay, so it's somewhere between 7 and 8, I'd imagine. So yeah, 8 point dog at home.
I mean, they're playing at home. Alabama, they're clearly the number 1 team in college football.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like,
as they have been for the past 5 years.
yeah, I mean, when you win so much, you can recruit the best players and you can keep winning. Like it's a vicious
Yep,
cycle. I mean,
that's college for you.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get a team out of that cycle unless, like, a former defensive coordinator is caught raping like 30 kids or something.
That
So
could have something to do with it. But you know what? To be fair, Penn State was not a. Actually, you know what? I think '09 we were in the Rose Bowl, and then that was really their last. No, I think when we were seniors in high school, I guess that was the 2000. No, that was the Paterno year. So when we were juniors in high school in 2011,
yep.
yeah, the beginning of 2011, we were in another bowl. I forget which bowl it was, but that was really they were not Alabama caliber. Obviously, we got decimated by sanctions and everything.
I'm not sure. Was Penn State ever the same caliber that Alabama has been right now?
No, I don't think any team in history has been.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the
maybe like USC in like the 90s.
I don't think anyone's so their national championship last year, lost in the national championship the year before, national champions the year before that, national champions the year before that. So that's
and they lost to Auburn the year before. They didn't lose.
No, you're right. They were. What was FSU Auburn?
That's right.
Was that the year before Ohio State? Was that the year before the playoff? Was that the last?
No, because wasn't Cam Newton on Auburn when that happened?
I don't know, because I know our freshman year of college. Yeah, you know what? All right, freshman year or my freshman year of college, the national championship was Notre Dame Bama. Bama victory. Bama convincing victory. There's no way Notre Dame deserved to be in that fucking game. And then it was FSU Auburn, sophomore year. And then it was Alabama, Ohio State, and they lost, obviously. Oh, no. Alabama lost to Ohio State in the first round of the playoff. It was Ohio State, Oregon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then last year, obviously, Alabama, Clemson. So in senior year of high school, I don't know. But, I mean, obviously, Alabama's been fucking – wasn't Alabama LSU one year?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not huge into college,
Yeah, my brain's not functioning right now. But, I mean, they've been – I don't think anyone's been as dominant as they've been. I don't think it's even close. Obviously, back in the day, like maybe Notre Dame. But I think if you go, like, that far back, it doesn't even count. It's like talking about the Celtics winning, like, 1 million championships and, like, what I like. That's just – or even the Yankees. Like, the Yankees won – I think they have 27 World Series championships, and I think like 20 of them came in a span of like 30 years between 1923 and 1960 or whatever it is. So that, I mean, it doesn't even count because it wasn't the same. Black people couldn't even play baseball for half of that time. There were only 16 teams in the league, and it just, it doesn't even compare. So in modern sports, I would argue that Alabama is the most. Maybe the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, in college, definitely Alabama.
Oh, 100%. But just in general, in modern American sports, and I'm talking, 1970s, 1980s.
Talking 1980s on.
Yeah, like when sports were real, they let black people in when it wasn't like a limited number of teams. When it was like, I don't know when the exact change off would be, but let's say 1980 on. I'd say the most dominant dynasties since then have been the Yankees in the 90s and 2000, the Alabama, the Patriots.
Definitely the Patriots for football.
Yeah. Who else? Hockey, I don't even know. Is anyone
hockey can't really go back that far.
And then basketball, the Lakers?
So basketball has changed so much. So now in basketball,
10 years, yeah.
Now in basketball, it's like if LeBron is on the team, that team is going to the NBA Finals. Like
that's not even a team. That's a LeBron thing. I think I'd put LeBron.
I'm just saying, like the NBA is so dependent on individual players that you can't really say which team is more dominant because like LeBron's on your team. Like you put LeBron, I don't even know. Like you put LeBron on the 76ers, like they're probably going to go to the finals. Like
I would agree with that. Do you think NBA is rigged? At least somewhat.
rigged?
Not totally rigged, but like obviously the NBA's business model is LeBron. You know, he's their star. So like if he's not in the finals, it's not as exciting, I feel like.
Yeah.
And there's definitely ways along the way how they can kind of, you know, get him there, however they do it. You know, they gave the Cavs won the draft lottery when the year he went back. And, you know, you could argue that that's not totally random. That, you know, it all goes back to the frozen envelope about the Knicks. But the NBA is one of those sports that people have always been rumblings about it being rigged. They had the referee, what's his face, Donahue, get arrested. No other sport has had anything like that. I mean, obviously they had Pete Rose in baseball. That doesn't even come close. It wasn't a referee, and there was no proof that he ever bet against his own team. So I don't know. I wouldn't totally rule it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of things in sports can be rigged. I don't have any proof. So
there's just some things that work out so perfectly, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously LeBron's the best. I don't think
he is the best player of all time. Like, there's really no question.
Yeah, I think just watching him play, it's remarkable. I mean, he's definitely a better athlete than Jordan.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, he would destroy like the Cavaliers, the 2016 Cavaliers against like the 94 Bulls or 93 Bulls. Like, I mean, the Cavaliers are gonna win.
Yeah, the game's just gotten so much more competitive.
Yeah, I mean, the Cavaliers are going to win like 100 out of 100 times.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but
I mean, yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything can
happen.
Like,
LeBron can cover Jordan. Jordan can't really cover LeBron.
Yeah.
In their primes, my opinion. I don't even like LeBron that much. I just think he's the best. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a LeBron guy either, but you know, they were talking on Pardon My Take about they're interviewing Delly, and he was saying they were talking about one-on-one. Like they asked if he could beat LeBron one-on-one, and Dellavedova said that he doesn't think that there's really anyone in the league that can cover anyone else in the league one-on-one. Like he thinks that if anyone plays one-on-one against each other, like the guy on offense is gonna win every time.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, yeah.
It's just too hard.
When you're at that level, like, you know.
Yeah, you just like it's so hard. It's, you know,
look how high the scores in basketball games are. Like,
yeah, 100 or whatever.
Exactly.
You get to like 120, 110 games. It's wild. I don't know. Somehow we got from college football to is the NBA rigged. And,
you know, all right. You want to actually? I'm gonna take a break and take a piss, and then we can go to the NFL. Unless you still want to talk about college.
Well, if you want to take a piss break in the middle of the podcast, it's a little ambitious. But
I mean, I've had two beers already. You know.
All right, so Danny's getting a little tipsy. All right, take a piss.
I just have to piss.
Right, go pee. I'll think of something to talk about. All right, so Dan's peeing. He's kind of ruining the podcast right now. I don't really know why he would do that to me. But I hope you guys think it's going well so far. Right now I'm watching Temple. Temple's in the red zone. They're up 21. I have minus 10.5. And it picked off. Are you fucking kidding me? That is the second pick that Temple just threw in the end zone. Of course, you know, I bet on them. They throw picks. That's just how it works. I like betting against UConn. I think UConn stinks. One of my friends goes to UConn. They're obviously better at us than basketball, but their football team is abysmal. So I always like to bet against them, though I bet against them Houston early in the season. Houston ended up losing to Navy, so they weren't that legit. But I think the spread was something crazy. It was like 30-something points. They ended up not covering. I doubled down in the second half. I didn't cover that either. It was fucking awful. So whatever. That's just my luck. That's how gambling goes. If you are not a gambler, I would not recommend starting. It's not fun. I take that back. It's very fun. It's not fun to lose, but if you like sports, it's super fun. So you know what? You should just gamble. You should all go out. You should gamble. Don't gamble more than you have, but gamble. All right, Dan's back.
Yep.
All right, I just gave him a whole little spiel about gambling.
Sorry about having to go to the bathroom. You know,
yeah, it's all right.
just a natural thing.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
We're
So Temple just threw a pick in the end zone. That's whatever.
all right. Well,
So we just did college. I don't really have anything else to talk about. We could say Penn State. They're playing Iowa under the lights. It's a big game. I think it's the toughest test they're going to have the rest of the season. We do have Michigan State left, but I think that we should be able to squeak one by Michigan State. They're awful this year.
yeah.
But Iowa at home under the lights, 7:30 game. I wish I was going, but no one. Everyone wanted to go in the beginning of the year. Now no one's going, which sucks. We're ranked 12. If we can convincingly beat Iowa, we will at least stay 12, and maybe go up more. That's about it. That's a 7.5 point spread in favor of Penn State. I don't think I like that.
In favor of Penn State, 7.5.
Yeah, and Penn State is not a good team. I mean, they covered against Ohio State, and obviously they covered against Purdue. But they're generally not a team that covers. We actually covered against Pittsburgh because they were favored. But I think those are our only 3 covers all year. So I wouldn't bet on Penn. I never bet on Penn State, except I bet against Ohio State. That was a 20-point spread, and I had a feeling, and obviously that was right. That was the best game I've ever seen. But let's move on to the NFL.
All right. Start with the Thursday night game that was last night.
Mm-hmm.
So in Tampa, I had to watch it on my phone through NFL Mobile on Verizon because I don't want to pay for NFL Network to watch like maybe one Thursday night game a year, which is dumb. I mean, I want to see a stat of how many people actually have NFL Network. Like the NFL has to be losing money on that.
Well, you don't have Red Zone though, right?
Red Zone? What do you mean?
Like the Red Zone channel.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so a lot of people pay for it because it's Red Zone and NFL are in the same package.
Okay.
So I mean, we have Red Zone. Red Zone's great. So I mean, if you're going to pay, I don't even know. I don't know how people's cable bills work, but I just think that there's a lot of people that like watching Red Zone. I like watching Red Zone. It gets kind of.
I like Red Zone. So I didn't know Red Zone was a package deal with NFL Network. Okay.
I think it is. I mean, I guess it depends on your cable provider. I can't really get into the logistics of,
anyway,
regional cable stuff.
Anyway, the Falcons went to Tampa Bay, and just like I predicted, they won by double digits. Julio Jones went off for like 111 yards and a touchdown. Mike Evans did go off. I predicted that the Atlanta secondary would keep him in check, which they did not do at all.
Not at all.
Jacquizz Rodgers was injured, so he didn't play, which I also predicted. Tevin Coleman was also out, which I thought he was going to play for some reason. So sorry about all that, but my overall pick was correct. That Atlanta won by double digits. That's where your money comes from.
Yeah.
So, so you wanted to take Tampa Bay outright to spite me. If I remember correctly.
I did because I kept seeing that Jameis Winston was 3-0 against the Falcons. I saw it at home, but I knew the Falcons would be all right. I did have Jameis on my fantasy team that kind of, I think, influenced me in that direction. I didn't bet on the Tampa outright, which obviously was a good decision. I would have been very, very upset about that about 2 minutes into the game. Jameis Winston got to me, I think, 21 points in fantasy, and that's with the fumble and with getting injured. So I'll take that. I hope Big Ben doesn't put up 35 this weekend against the Ravens. Otherwise, I'll be a little upset about that. But regardless, that was a good game. I think it was like fairly exciting for a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
But on to Sunday. You are off, so your team is done for the week, which is always a great feeling.
I don't have to sweat about football on Sunday, except for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Which I need to do well.
Yeah, that's a big week. But it's always great. I love having my team play on a Monday or a Thursday because, first off, it's the Jets, so it just sucks worrying about the Jets. So when I can have a nice NFL Sunday where all I have to worry about is gambling, fantasy, DraftKings, and no Jets is awesome. The Jets do play Sunday. They play Miami at Miami. I think Miami is 3.5 point favorites, 2.5 point favorites.
Miami is 3.5 point favorites.
Okay, so Miami's 3.5 points. I don't care. I don't know. I can't pick that game. I have no idea. It's the Jets. They're awful. I do think that I think it'll be an offensive game. The Jets secondary is so bad. Their run defense is good. But I mean, Tannehill also sucks. It really could go either way. That's a game that I just really can't get a hold of.
I mean,
3-5, we need a lot of help to make the playoffs, and I don't think that's going to happen.
do you see Jay Ajayi breaking off like another 200-yard game against the Jets' run defense?
No chance. Zero chance. I don't even know if he's going to get 100 yards.
Okay. What about? Yeah, I mean, I could see the Jets winning that game. I could also see Miami winning that game. For me, the 3.5.
Good analysis.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting into here. The 3.5 Miami. I wouldn't fuck with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with gambling on this game. I don't like it. Eagles Giants is another game that I actually included in my picks blog, but did not pick. I just included it to say that it's going to be an ugly game, and it would be so Eagles to lose this game. You know, both teams obviously fighting for a spot to hopefully overtake the Cowboys. It would be so Eagles to lose this game. It would be so Giants to lose this game. So I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a close game. That or it's gonna be a blowout. Either way, it's not gonna be like a 14-point game. It's gonna be like the Giants murder the Eagles in the first half and then cruise to a victory, or vice versa, or it's gonna go into overtime. That's what I think.
So, what are the odds on this one? Looking it
I
up.
think it's somewhere between 2 and 3.
Oh wow, New York is -2.5.
Yeah, at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, the home team generally gets 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like what the Eagles are doing.
Yeah, I think they're better. I think the Eagles are a better team.
The Eagles are a much better team.
But they always, the Eagles always eagle. They always have a chance to just like totally fall apart in the middle of the season, which I could absolutely see happening.
I mean, the Eagles have swept the season series each of the past 2 seasons against the Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Maybe. I think it'll be a good game. It's at MetLife, so that's a big game for the Giants fans.
Yeah.
And it's a day game, right? It's not the primetime game.
It is a 1 o'clock game Eastern time.
I would like to go to that game. Anyways, so yeah, I liked. I think that'll be a good game to watch. If that game's on your TV, I would watch it. I picked Cowboys -7.5 against the Browns.
-7 now.
It moved.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Wait, what? Well, my site it still might be 7.5. All the sites move, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think the Cowboys are going to blow them out. The Jets. The Jets were winning 31-21, and the Browns covered in the last 15 seconds of the game. They scored a touchdown. So if the Jets can be up 10 on you and like potentially win by 10 minus like a last second touchdown, I would imagine that the Cowboys can do better than that. I think that the Cowboys can win by 10 or even more.
Yeah, I mean they've got two amazing rookies.
Unbelievable. Dak Prescott's fighting for his job, basically. He's got to keep proving that they should not put Romo back in. So that'll be a blowout, I would hope. If you have Zeke or Dak on your fantasy team, that'll be a fun game to watch. What else did I pick? I picked Broncos -1 at Oakland. I think Oakland's overrated. I think that they've had a really easy schedule. I think that the Broncos are still legit as fuck. I don't care if they don't really have a quarterback. Their defense is awesome, and they have won some good games, and I think that the Raiders are just way overrated. I think that it's going to be – I don't know if it's going to be a blowout, but it's a 1-point spread. I'll take the Broncos any day.
So Oakland, according to my sources, are -1.5 at home.
Really?
Yeah.
-1.5, Oakland.
Yep.
I had them. Oh yeah, I had Denver +1. Okay, it was actually +1, not -1. So I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's basically a pick 'em, unless there's a tie, in which case Denver would win. And fucking there could absolutely be another tie. Oakland almost tied 2 weeks ago against
Tampa Bay.
last week against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
So I think that the Broncos will take that game, and then Steelers Ravens is the other game I took, and I also think that that's going to be another good game. Obviously, huge rivalry game. Big Ben is back. We'll see how he fares coming back from his injury. I don't know if he's going to be too hot or if he's going to struggle, but I think that the Steelers win the game. I think they're a much better team. I think the Ravens are pretty awful this year. They do have the home field advantage, and they do have the advantage of it being, a hard-hitting rivalry game. But I think that the Steelers take this one by at least a field goal. I think Antonio Brown is going to get at least one of those, streak touchdowns where Big Ben drops it right in the basket, and it's impossible to cover that guy. And I think that Le'Veon Bell is going to have a good game. So I think the Steelers win that game. What else is on the slate? We got Jaguars, Chiefs. That sucks.
Jaguars, Chiefs. Chiefs are -7. That's kind of nice. I think that will definitely happen with the Chiefs being at home. I don't know if that's what you picked.
I didn't take that game, but yeah, I think that the Chiefs will probably win pretty handily.
I think the Chiefs could definitely cover.
Yeah, I might actually bet that game. I might add that to the picks block.
So we also got Detroit, Minnesota. Minnesota is -6.
6. Yeah, Minnesota after last week, I don't know what the fuck to deal with them. So I'm taking.
They're they're not looking good anymore.
That was awful. I mean, their offensive line is unbelievably bad.
They have the bottom two ranked offense.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Bradford is not good.
You're not going to win games in the NFL with that bad of an offense. Defense matters more. But that's why they have a winning record. But they're not gonna continue winning.
Yeah,
with an offense that's not on the field and that bad.
Temple just fumbled. Fuck.
All right. So we also got Carolina, Los Angeles.
I like Carolina.
I like Carolina a lot.
I think that last week after their bye week, they really bounced back. I mean, the Cardinals had some bad games this year, but they trounced the Cardinals. The Rams stink. So I think that's an easy win.
Yeah. New Orleans, San Francisco. New Orleans is -4, and I would take that all day. New Orleans -4 against San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco is if the Browns weren't in the NFL, San Francisco would be by far the worst team.
San Francisco. What about the Jaguars?
I would take the Jags over San Francisco.
Oh, the Browns.
I said if the Browns were not in the NFL.
Oh, Browns. I think the Rams. Yeah, I guess I would say that they're the second worst team.
Yeah, they're by far the second.
But the Saints have struggled in a lot of games this season.
They just beat the Seahawks. The 49ers don't have Carlos Hyde, or he's very questionable.
Yeah, you know what? Well, that's the only thing is they're at San Francisco, and that's a long flight. So any game that there's a long flight involved, that's something to think about.
Yeah, but it's like a 3 o'clock game here, a 4 o'clock game on the East. So it's playing a noon game for them in Central Time.
That's true. You also say it's a 4-point spread. I think I feel like that seems low, which is to me I mean, if I'm gonna handicap that game, I would say that it's at least a 7-point spread because I think that the Saints are much better. But I don't know, 4 points seems low, so I think that could be a little bit of a trap line. I don't know. I don't think that's a game I would bet on. But
I would bet on that game.
All right, so guns in my head, I'm taking Saints for sure. You are fully on board the Saints train. What's next?
So we got Indianapolis and Green Bay. Green Bay is -7.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I think that Green Bay is a better team. I just feel like the Colts, there's always a chance. And Green Bay hasn't been playing that well. So I don't know. I mean, I think Green Bay wins the game, but I don't know if they win by 7.
Yeah, they have a lot of injuries right now. They went down to the wire in Atlanta.
Yep.
I don't know if I would take -7.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then we got Tennessee, San Diego. San Diego's -4. I just feel like Tennessee has so much of a chance to ruin that. I can't take that.
Yeah, they're coming off a hot game and a long week because they played on Thursday last week. So they got a lot of time to prepare. They played a great game against, I mean, the Jaguars stink, but they dominated the Jaguars. So that's a game that I'm staying away from for sure.
All right. So then Monday Night Football is Buffalo and Seattle.
Seattle -7, right?
-6.5 right now.
All right, move to 6.5. I don't know. The Bills always have a chance to play a good game. They obviously got just absolutely trounced by the Patriots. And
Seattle lost to New Orleans last week.
Yeah, it's in Seattle, though, right?
What?
It's in Seattle.
I think so.
And Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan are definitely the people who just poop their pants on primetime games. So
yeah,
I would probably Seattle -7. I would probably take Seattle -7. I think I might actually bet that game. Sack fumble. Oh, UConn recovered. All right, that was 4th down. All right, I think I'm going to hit on this game, which is nice.
Buffalo.
All right, so we're good. We're done with football.
For me, it depends if LaShawn McCoy is healthy. That's big.
He will not be playing.
He won't be. So yeah, I'd feel pretty comfortable taking Seattle -7.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, McCoy. They have a bye week the week after Buffalo, and I just don't think it's worth it for them to put McCoy in a game that they're probably going to lose anyway, and risk him getting re-injured, especially as a fantasy owner of LaShawn McCoy. I think that's the executive decision that they should be making. So, all right, NFL. I think we're done. Do you have any other thoughts on the NFL?
Nope.
All right. Yeah, me neither. There's one last thing. Oh, we can do a little politics. I think we're about an hour in. Maybe I don't know. I sent you the text at 8:30. All right, this is bad podcast thing. So we're about an hour into the podcast. We'll get a little bit more in politics. The election's Tuesday. It would be a disgrace if we didn't at least mention that. It's going to be a close one. Trump's really gained ground in the last few weeks, really, with all of these leaks and just all this stuff. I mean, what was that?
I don't have a bottle opener up here.
Jesus Christ!
My desk isn't capable of handling.
Are you on to the next beer?
Well, apparently not, unless I get a bottle opener. So,
is it not? You couldn't get it open?
It's a bottle. Yeah, I don't want to destroy my desk here.
Yeah, no, very understandable. Okay, so we'll forget about that. Unless you want to go, you know what? I'll give a quick little election rundown. Go get a bottle opener because we'll get one. Okay, so Dan's gonna go get his bottle opener. Trump really gained a lot of ground past couple of weeks. A lot of WikiLeaks, a lot of weird shit going on. Fucking what was it? Spirit cooking or something was trending on Twitter all day. And there are people who think.
Hey, I did have a bottle opener in here.
Oh, there we go. So while Dan gets his bottle open, I'm going to go into the spirit cooking thing. Apparently, all these people are saying, according to WikiLeaks, that Hillary Clinton is like a Satanist and her campaign manager is involved in some weird shit. I really have no idea what to make of it. I just saw some videos and it was fucking weird as shit. I don't know if Hillary Clinton's doing that. I don't know. It's very bizarre. I would suggest that everyone listening to this go Google spirit cooking and just like make sure you're not eating lunch or dinner while you're fucking doing it, because it's so bizarre, so weird. But it's 2016. This election has been a complete fucking roller coaster, so I wouldn't put it past anyone. Before we do more election talk, we're going to hear from our sponsor. Just kidding. Danny is going to do one last beer review.
All right, so I got this Goose Island 312 Urban Wheat Ale.
Chicago.
With a light lemon aroma. Is that Chicago?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They won the World Series, so I guess I bought their beer.
Yep. And you didn't even do it on purpose.
Elk Mountain. So they grow their whatever goes into beer. They grow it in Idaho. So it's supposed to be like all organic and shit, like some hippie bullshit. I don't know. But it's a urban wheat ale, and I love wheat ales. I love Blue Moon and Chalk Top and all that stuff. So give it a try.
All right.
That's good.
I've had it before, I think. I like Goose Island, the IPA.
Yeah, you know what? That's very good. With the light lemon aroma,
Uh-huh.
that's money. I mean, I'm gonna make it short because we're like going really long time. But this is the beer 312 Chicago. Go Cubs in 7. Moral lock. Put it in my Atlanta Falcons koozie. I'm gonna give that like a 7.7.
Right. That's
Like,
a high score.
it's a good beer. It's not like it didn't like blow my mind like that red ale did.
Uh-huh.
Or that Irish red, sorry. But yeah, it's a good
I'd
beer.
like to find that.
I could drink like 80 or 90 of these.
Fumble. Get it. Jump on it. That's UConn ball. All right. All
right, so
right.
We want to go back to politics.
Yeah, we're rounding third. We're heading for home in this podcast. If you're still listening, God bless you. I know it hasn't been great. It hasn't been very funny, but we're just kind of winging it. We talked a lot of sports. We didn't do a lot of funny shit this time, but this is not the main format of the podcast. It will change. It will evolve. It will get better. We might do multiple podcasts. Anyways, we're going to go. Last thing, politics. It's going to be a good election night. It's going to be bizarre. It's going to be unexpected. I think right now, just going by the Vegas odds, I think Hillary's minus 350 and Trump's like plus 240, somewhere around there. So Vegas still thinks Hillary's going to win. I think everyone kind of thinks Hillary's going to win. I don't know. I'm voting for Trump. I will be posting my election preview. Probably, maybe not tomorrow, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. It's pretty lengthy. I went into a lot of detail just about why, kind of the whole election, bios, their policies a little bit, kind of scandals, little exciting stuff. And then I did, a couple paragraphs about why I'm voting for Trump. I think that he's better for us, but I'm not one of those people who thinks that it's the end of the world. I think that in the grand scheme of things, this election is not, going to make or break this country. It's still America. We're still the best fucking country ever. So, that's really the way everyone should look at the election. Don't hate people on the other side. I know it's been hectic and wild and a bunch of crazy shit has been said. And if you can't appreciate that, you're just like a fucking party pooper, because it was really unbelievable. I mean, the Republican debates, just right from the get-go, everything was unreal. It's better than any season of House of Cards. Is there anything specific you want to talk about, Dan? I know you can't get into too much detail.
Yeah, I can't publicly endorse anybody, but I just want to, this election is really, really important. Like, the president to be is going to decide who's on the Supreme Court, 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 justices. Like, that is huge.
Maybe even 4.
Yeah, maybe like, who knows? It's huge, so big. The biggest thing is, like, vote for who is going to benefit you personally.
Wow, that's quite the take right there.
Yeah, like, you got to be selfish about it. You can't vote for other people. You can't listen to why other people are voting for this person. You got to think for yourself, really, in my opinion. Vote for who's going to be better for your interests, what you believe in. You're going to disagree with some things that both candidates stand for. It's inevitable. The biggest thing, like one of the things that surprised me the most is just like how many Democrats, liberal people became Republicans and conservative, and vice versa, just because of the 2 candidates. Like, you were a big Bernie Sanders guy, and now you like Trump. I think like most people's political views come from their parents. How they grew up. Their parents raised them a certain way.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And like the area they grew up in, and most of the
people around you.
Yeah.
That's why certain states stay certain colors for a long time.
But this election changed all that, It's not like George Bush running and, fucking Al Gore. It's like two people that are basically famous for the stuff that they've done. It's not like two boring white old dudes. It's a old white woman and a old orange dude. So, you know, it's like entertaining. It's a lot of things, but you know, at the end of the day, one of those two people is going to be our president. I don't care what Gary Johnson supporters say. There's no chance, like, ever that a third party is going to win in like the next, maybe in our lifetime.
Yeah, I think that if you vote third party for a protest vote or whatever, like you're an idiot. Like you're just wasting your vote.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it can happen in our lifetime. A third party winning.
Yeah, I agree. And if you don't vote, I mean, like you have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want, but like if you don't vote, like just like why? Like obviously you prefer one. You might say like, oh, it's the two worst candidates. I'm not going to vote. I don't feel like voting. I don't care. But like gun to your head, there's one of them who are you like you're going to pick. Like if you're saying I will shoot you if you don't choose Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton right now, whichever one of those people you are going to choose, you should probably vote for that person because you have the right to. I mean, you have the right to not, but your vote counts. I don't care what anyone says. Your vote counts. So if you are thinking about not voting, go out and vote. Unless you're going to vote for Hillary, then don't. I'm just kidding. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. Like I said, obviously this election's important. Dan put it well, with the Supreme Court and everything, but it's not, the end of the world if your candidate loses. Obviously, people think that Hillary Clinton's like the most corrupt person ever and all this nonsense, WikiLeaks, all that. Do your own research. I kind of agree with that. I think she's very corrupt, but I don't think Donald Trump is perfect by any means. I think he's probably pretty corrupt too, and he's also not a lunatic. He's not, people treat him like he's going to start a nuclear war. He's not going to start a nuclear war. No one's going to start a nuclear war because the people who have the egos and kind of like have that sort of personality to like get to the point where they're going to become president of the United States are not like, they care about their legacy. They care about what people think about them. And if there's no one left to think about you or honor your legacy, then you blew it. So for that reason, I don't think anyone's ever starting a nuclear war because no one wants the end of the world because then no one will be around to talk about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just, you really have to vote your conscience. When you think about going to vote, one of two people is going to pop in your head and you're going to feel better about that. And that's who you should vote for. I mean, seriously, like you're not losing anything by voting.
Yeah. Your protest doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
There's
no one cares if you vote for Jill Stein.
Yeah, like literally no one is going to be like, oh, Jill Stein got 50,000 votes. Like, that's a game changer. They're going to literally nothing is going to come of it. You're literally wasting your vote. You are literally a moron if you vote for Jill Stein.
I love the libertarian views. I love them. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Gary Johnson, I mean,
he's a schmuck.
He's got experience. He was a governor. Where his vice presidential candidate was a governor. And honestly, I think governors have more experience to be president than a senator or a congressman.
Oh, I agree.
But, why didn't he run under the Republican Party? Or, why doesn't the Republican Party have a candidate like Gary Johnson?
Because I don't think Gary Johnson would have won that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have. But I'm saying, that's why.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Gary Johnson is clearly kind of not smart.
Yeah, he's not the best.
He's not the best. But you know what? All right. I'm trying to find the 10 o'clock bets because I just won my Temple covered, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. My whole computer's freaking out right now, so that's not going to happen. All right, we're gonna end it. We're gonna sign off. I think we've gone.
Yep, it's 9 o'clock here on the Central Coast.
Yeah, I think we started at. We probably started at I don't know, It's probably been an hour 15. Yeah, so that was a podcast. Please don't stop listening if you thought that this was boring, because it will get better. I promise you that. We didn't really prepare very much. We just kind of wanted to do a little weekend preview, little election preview, little beer reviews, Friday night. Figured we'd get some content in. It's going to get better. It's going to get funnier, I think. I think we're going to think of, more ideas. We really didn't think of anything. We'll think of more segments. We'll think of things to do. But this will be a recurring thing. It's going to be weekly. At least this podcast will be weekly. There might be other podcasts on the Wieners Weekly Words podcast network. We might divide it up. We might do just a pick'em podcast. We might do, whatever. We'll figure it out. If you really got this far, you are probably one of my close friends, because I can't envision anyone else listen this far. But thank you.
Man, I don't even have any friends. So.
Thank you for being mine and Dan's friend and listening to this podcast and supporting us and reading the blog. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be posting more stuff. We'll be posting more beer videos. I don't know if you can subscribe to the blog. I don't know. Keep following the blog. It's definitely an evolving thing. The website, I don't know where we're going to go with it. Right now, we might be buying the domain, so it doesn't have the Weebly at the end of it. It might just be Wieners Weekly Words. I might totally mix it up and throw it on a totally different site, depending. I'm going to obviously explore my options. Right now, I kind of like where it's at for, a very young website. I think that's pretty well organized into categories and everything. I don't like that not everything's kind of, it's tough to navigate, like, older blogs and stuff. Obviously, we're only a week in, but I think that will be a problem eventually. But yeah, keep following the site. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully one day, either we, make it big, or Barstool hires both of us, or
I don't hired.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're going to see where it goes. That once again, really appreciate listening, you listening, and Temple won. So Wieners Weekly Picks is our Wieners Weekly wager.
One more thing, I'm gonna, as a VP of blog operations, I'm gonna be trying to feature some guest writers here and there. We got one, Boris, in the.
We do have Boris in the pipeline.
He's working on a great piece right now about drinking with NBA players.
Yep.
I liked it a lot. I liked his first draft a lot.
Follow the Twitter account. It's Wieners WW. That's the handle. That's where I'm going to post all the blog. Every time there's a blog posted, it's going to be tweeted out. Kind of like, how most sites do it. So that way I don't have to do it on my personal stuff and bother all my friends that don't really care about it. So follow the Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube, bookmark the site. I promise you it'll be worth checking. Instead of reading, 5 Barstool articles or whatever, read 3 or 4 Jake Wieners, whatever, Wieners Weekly Words articles. It's going to go somewhere. If you didn't like any of the blogs so far,
you fucking suck.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So fuck you. They're going to get better, but if you didn't like them already, you're not going to like them in the future. So you have no sense of humor. You're stupid. You're an idiot. You should probably just quit life. Any last words, Dan?
Yep. I'm going to have a beer review up tomorrow about the best beers to drink during golf. It'll go over, three beers that have been in competition forever. And, they're great golf beers, and I'm going to go over it tomorrow. It's going to be a good review.
So you are going to give the final verdict on those 3 beers.
Coors Light, Bud Light, and Miller Light. If you know me, you probably know which one's already going to win, but because I've done this review myself, my personal self, I've done this review. But I'm going to do it publicly so everyone knows what's up. Stay tuned for it tomorrow. It's going to be big. There's going to be some golf featured in it too. So
if you like golf, if you want to know the answer to one of the oldest questions, just almost as old as the chicken and the egg question, tune in, subscribe to the YouTube. It will be posted on the site. Dan DeRoss, whose name wanted to be anonymous, but no one's listening to this anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Whatever. You can follow me on Twitter, even though I'm private. I probably won't accept you.
Yeah, unless you're like someone cool, you know.
I'm not a big social media guy, so don't
Yeah.
worry about my social media
Never
stuff.
mind. Follow me though, jwiener24. I tweet a decent amount. And yeah, if there's anyone out there who knows someone who needs employee, please let me know. You know, doing something white collar, not blue collar. I'm not lifting logs and shit, but I do need a job. Obviously, I have a few things working on right now, but I'm open to all options. And that's about it. So this was the first ever episode of the Unnamed Podcast featured on the Wieners Weekly Words episode. Once again, thanks for listening. This is Jake Wiener and Dan signing off.